You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Young and the Restless fans, I've got your full roster of weekly spoilers for Monday, December 16th, all the way through Friday, December 20th. We've got Ian ordering Sharon to be murdered and Tessa also targeted. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and if you're not following us, please click subscribe. Let's jump right into the action coming Monday, December 16th on season 52, episode 51. So Phyllis is kind of snarky when Billy joins her at Society, and she's kind of being a big bee about Sally being gracious and telling Billy to go find her and be her friend, and he has to defend Sally. Phyllis is griping about losing friends and nobody believing her when she was right. And Billy suggests they get revenge by setting Nikki up to fail at Chancellor since the company was taken from him and she was also fired. But Phyllis says Victor won't let it happen. Billy tries to get her to be fearless, but Phyllis is worried that her kids will be mad at her again and it's just not worth the risk. Billy says it is a chance to right some wrongs done to them, so she's going to think about it. Meanwhile, Ian Ward is also at Society, and he is eavesdropping as Mariah and Tessa talk to Claire about her new job and her exciting wardrobe makeover. And Ian hears that Sharon is about to get hypnotized to see if she can unravel these blackouts now that they've figured out that her pills were doctored with PCP. Mariah leaves because she wants to go check on her mom. Ian also leaves because he has an exciting takeaway from this. There's a flashback to how Ian and Jordan met. They were in one of those rare co-ed prisons where, men and women get to hang out together, I guess. And he is ministering to get out early. He got ordained while in prison, and as a former cult leader, this makes a lot of sense. They get to talking and bond over their mutual hatred for the Newmans. Both of them feel they lost daughter figures to the Newmans. She lost Claire and he lost Mariah. And of course, she also lost her sister Eve. So we've got Jordan and Ian shown in these flashback scenes bonding behind bars over not only their past, but their planned future of revenge. And then Ian comes back to the hotel and tells Jordan, good news, Claire and Mariah are friends. That's very helpful to our plot. He's going to befriend Tessa, who has no idea who he is. And Ian says, while he's doing that, Jordan needs to go kill Sharon because the hypnosis is a risk, the pill info is already a risk, and Sharon, he says, needs to be removed from this earthly plane for good. Alan shows up at Sharon's to do her hypnosis. Michael and Nick are there as well. Sharon knows it may not work, but Alan goes ahead and puts Sharon under, brings her to the night of the car crash. Sharon remembered a dark truck ran her off the road and caused the crash. They bring Sharon back, and she remembers what she remembered and says that she didn't cause that wreck. Alan refuses to do any more on the spot. He says it's too risky after all that. And Michael says that Phyllis saw a truck also, so they can start a search for that person, even though her memories aren't admissible in court. And Nick is wondering if the person driving the truck is the one who tampered with Sharon's medication. On Tuesday, December 17th, season 52, episode 52, we have Nikki Newman helping Claire step into this new phase of her life. She's starting a new chapter as she has agreed to go to work for her grandma at Chancellor. Claire's got a fancy new wardrobe. Nikki is so happy to have her there and, says she won't be stuck as her assistant for long. She sees her moving up fast. And I guess that depends on how successful Billy's plot is to ruin Nikki's reign at the top of Chancellor. Meanwhile, Jack Abbott stands very firm with his younger brother, Billy, and I'm guessing he doesn't like him taking risks for revenge and thinks Billy's in that addictive phase where he gets hooked on things, And Diane makes a promise that she will prove herself now that she's back at Jabot. Of course, she's working with her new subsidiary, which is called Jabot Classic. And I'm still wondering if she's going to onboard Billy there with her. Wednesday, December 18th, season 52, episode 53. Diane gets support from an unlikely ally. Somebody who's an unlikely friend to her is being supportive. Maybe it's Phyllis. That would be highly unlikely Billy, but she does need a job and is desperate for friends right now. Billy is also another unlikely choice because he's not always been a big fan of Diane's and he's mad at Jack right now. So, Meanwhile, Nikki has advice for Victoria, offers her daughter some words of wisdom. Maybe it's about parenting Claire. And Jack and Tracy talk about Abbott family history. They are discussing past Christmases for the family. And of course, this one is going to be interesting because we've got a new person in the house, Dr. Alan Laurent. We've got Diane and Jack that just came off that fake breakup. We've got Kyle back in the fold. We've got Summer gone, and we've got Claire probably joining them. And I assume Ashley will still be in town. Thursday, December 19th is episode 54 of the current season. Phyllis decides she's going to pivot in her revenge plotting. And the big question is this about her revenge she wants on Victor or the revenge she wants on Sharon for killing Heather and framing Daniel? Phyllis is starting to acknowledge maybe Sharon didn't cause the wreck. Maybe that was just random, even though she's denying it to people. But she definitely wants Sharon behind bars. She has already told Michael, if you go for an acquittal, we're not going to be friends anymore. And that's exactly what he's doing. Also on Thursday, Sharon and Nick find out something shocking, and maybe she undergoes another session because there are more memories coming. She is going to remember the night that Heather died. And this was in an interview Sharon Case did. And she said that she's going to have a memory of something huge from that night that is going to break things wide open. So it could be about the driver of the truck, or it could be about the night of Heather's murder. Maybe she remembers Jordan being there. And Nate and Amy ask Denise to find Damien. This is really weird because Denise Tolliver was already on the case. This is Thelma Hopkins, who's back on the scene. And she was already looking for him and then had reported back that she had a bead on him in LA. So I think it's just a very poorly written spoiler that CBS issued. Friday, December 20th, we're closing out the week with episode 55 of season 52. And Nick is worried that Sharon is at risk. He's worried for her safety. And this is why I think on Thursday, the something shocking they find out could be about something else she remembers, that somebody else was in the room killing Heather, unless they figured out something about the identity of the driver. But I can't imagine that Jordan registered that truck in her name, and it would be really weird if Ian did. But he also has a couple of pseudonyms that he uses and goes by, fake identities, things like that. Also on Friday, Tessa falls into a trap. And of course, this is a trap that Ian set for her because he wants to use her against Mariah, also possibly against Claire. Ian tells Jordan to play dirty as the week closes down, and maybe this is him pushing her again to go do murdery things to Sharon. And Daniel keeps up appearances for Lucy. He's hiding his feelings, and maybe it's this conflicted thing now that they're finding out more about Sharon. It's just going to be a big mess.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.